Di bawah langit biru yang luas dan bebas, kau memimpin dengan keberanian yang luar biasa, menghadapi badai yang datang dengan gagah berani. Palestin, kau tak sendirian, kami di sini bersamamu.
Dalam gelombang kekejaman yang merayap, anak-anak kecil yang dirobek dari kebahagiaan, kami berdoa agar terangmu bersinar, membelah kegelapan.
Di setiap sujud yang penuh kerendahan hati, kami memohon keadilan untukmu, Palestin. Usah gentar saudaraku di sana. Dalam setiap detik, dalam setiap nafas yang dihela, doa dipinta. Siapkan dirimu dengan wudhu yang sempurna. Kemenangan sudah hampir dan tidak lama. Akan kita bersujud berjemaah dengan aman di Masjidil Aqsa tercinta.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man nasarahu walah. Selawat dan salam atas junjungan Nabi besar Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah, pada pagi ini kita dapat bersiaran semula dan sama-sama kita dalam siri YADIM Maya. Dalam siri kali ini kita akan membicarakan tajuk yang tidak asing dalam masyarakat kita, khususnya di Malaysia dan dunia antarabangsa pada ketika ini, iaitu pencabulan hak asasi manusia, terutama dalam konteks konflik di Palestin sejak awal abad ke-20 hingga ke saat ini. Bagi tujuan ini, YADIM Pulau Pinang dengan kerjasama Yayasan Nurul Islam Pulau Pinang telah menjemput 3 orang tokoh yang akan bersama-sama dengan para penonton sekalian, iaitu yang pertama yang berbahagia Dr. SHARIF Abu SHAMMALA. Selamat datang Doktor. Doktor adalah CEO AL-QUDS Foundation Malaysia. Dan pembicara kita yang kedua ialah yang berbahagia Profesor MADYA Dr. Sheikh ABDULLAH HASSAN MYDIN, pensyarah bidang tamadun Islam dan hubungan etnik Universiti Sains Malaysia. Selamat datang Prof. Dan tetamu kita yang terakhir iaitu yang berbahagia Tuan Haji AZMI bin HAMID, atau lebih dikenali dengan panggilan Cikgu Mi. Cikgu, apa khabar Cikgu?
Baik, alhamdulillah.
Cikgu AZMI adalah Presiden MAPIM yang kita semua sedia maklum. InsyaAllah dalam sesi forum kita pada pagi ini, kita akan memberi pertama sekali ruang kepada yang berbahagia Dr. SHARIF Abu SHAMMALA untuk menerangkan tentang situasi terkini dan kemudian kita akan jemput Dr. Syed Abdullah dan ikuti dengan Cikgu Azmi. Baiklah, tanpa melengahkan masa, saya mempersilakan Yang Berbahagia Dr. Sharif Abu SHAMMALA untuk memberi info terkini situasi di Palestin, khususnya di Gaza, dan harapan beliau kepada rakyat Malaysia. To Dr. Sharif, we would like to invite you to share with us the current situation in Palestine, especially in Gaza. تفضل دكتور.
جزاكم الله خير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this forum to discuss and to study the issue or the current situation in Gaza and what the Ummah should do for Gaza and for Palestine in general. So I want to start with thanking everyone here, and inshallah ta'ala will answer these questions. What happened in Gaza and what is happening now in Gaza, it is part of the history, and it is very important to keep in mind that the history did not start in 7th of October. 7th of October is one stage of the Palestinian history, and we should always keep in mind that Palestine is under occupation since more than 100 years, and under the Zionist occupation since 75 years. 75 years of displacement, 75 years of Nakba, catastrophe, 75 years of dividing Palestine to 3 pieces, 75 years of the refugees suffer from in all the countries. Now the number of Palestinian refugees who are outside of Palestine is around 7 million. And the refugees inside Palestine around 5 million. Around 1.7 of the Palestinian refugees are locked and blocked in Gaza Strip. So we should always keep in mind that this, or what happened on 7th of October, when a group of mujahideen, just 1,200 of mujahideen, managed to destroy the image of the Israeli Zionist army, when they managed to break into our occupied land to fight with the occupiers, to fight with the soldiers as part of the struggle, as part of resistance. And it is the right of the Palestinian people. And when they break, they didn't break a normal fence. No, they break what Israel always says, it is the iron wall that separate Gaza from its occupied land. This iron wall, if we look to the pictures, and may I have some pictures, if we look to the pictures of this wall and we study what this wall that Israel built since many years and announced the completion of this wall in 2018 with 140,000 tons of concrete and metal, armed this wall surrounding Gaza 60 kilometers, armed with automatic guns, armed with thousands of CCTVs or high-tech CCTVs system, armed with sensors, armed with military base, armed with Iron Dome, armed with radars, and بفضل الله عز وجل and thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that 1,200 of the Mujahideen managed to break into and to start the fight with the Israeli soldiers and to bring prisoners to Gaza for a deal of swift exchange with the Palestinian prisoners in the Israeli jails, that now more than 8,000 Palestinian prisoners waiting the moment of freedom to return to their families and their beloved ones. And when we watched the videos of the Palestinian Mujahideen who managed to break into, we must remember the ayah or verse of Kitabillah Azza wa Jal, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ما ظننتم أن يخرجوا وظنوا أنهم مانعتهم حصونهم من الله. You didn't think they will go out, and they thought their force will prevent them from Allah. فأتاهم الله من حيث لم يحتسبوا. And Allah came over them from where they didn't expect. وقذف في قلوبهم الرعب. And He cast the terror in their hearts. يخربون بيوتهم بأيديهم وأيدي المؤمنين. And they destroy their homes by their hands and the hands of the believers, the mu'mineen. So, what happened in 7th of October was a kind of mu'jiza, miracle, when this group restored the dignity of the Ummah, restored the first Sahaba practice in jihad, and to give a very clear message to the Ummah. This entity, the Zionist entity, Israel, is nothing in front of the will of the Ummah. If the Ummah have the will to fight Israel, to defeat Israel, to liberate Palestine, they will do, and it is doable. It is not impossible. No, we can do. We can liberate Bayt al-Maqdis. We can liberate Palestine, because Palestine and Bayt al-Maqdis does not belong to the Palestinian only. It is for the whole Ummah. After 7th of October and after the fast victory of 7th of October, Israel started to take revenge against the civilians and against the children, against those who are not fighting Israel. Instead of to take battle with the fighters, the Palestinian fighters and the Palestinian Mujahideen, they start to take revenge against the civilians, against the people, the women, elders. And now we watch live how Israel is slaughtering the Palestinian kids. Now around 5,000 of the Palestinian children were massacred by the Israeli army. We have around 3,000 of women. The total of shuhada, around 13,000 shuhada and lost. And Israel atrocities are not stopping. Every minute there is a shaheed. And today morning I read a report that every day Israel kills 136 child. Every day the Palestinian people sacrifice 136 child by the Israeli war jets. They target everything in Gaza. They targeted the schools, hospitals, government facilities, homes, building, residential towers, everything, infrastructure, ambulances, civil defense vehicles. They didn't leave anything in Gaza without targeting it. And now they start one of operations or one of the invasion they call the ground invasion. This is to defeat the Mujahideen in their lands. But insha'Allah ta'ala, the Mujahideen are doing well and they prepared for this moment, the moment of facing the Israeli tanks and the Israeli armed vehicles. And before I continue in what is happening now in the ground battle, I return to the Israeli atrocities because it is important to highlight that the massacres Israel is committing something horrible, something not like, it is a really genocide. When they target Al-Ma'madani Hospital or Al-Ahli Hospital and they kill in one strike more than 500 of the Palestinian people who came to the hospital to seek refuge, to seek shelter. They thought, those poor people, they thought if they come to the British hospital, it will be protected. They thought if they come to a hospital, Israel will not target, but Israel targeted them. And shameless, without any shame, they do all these atrocities without any shame, shameless. And also, Israel forced the people of the northern part of Gaza to leave to the southern part of Gaza. And while they are moving to the southern part of Gaza, Israel bombing them, resulted thousands of shuhada, resulted hundreds of massacres against the civilians. So, all crimes you can imagine, or those crimes you cannot imagine, Israel is committing in Gaza. Last night, Israel started to bombardment the surroundings area of Al-Indonesia Hospital, the Indonesian hospital in the northern part of Gaza, and tens of shuhada were fallen, hundreds of injured. All these atrocities fueled by United States, Britain, France, German, Greek, all these Western countries are united now to defeat Gaza, to force the people of Gaza to leave Gaza. And they gave Israel the green light to massacre the people of Gaza. Last thing I want to highlight is the situation of the battle on the ground. When Israel started the operation of invading Gaza from the ground by tanks called Merkava, number one in the world, Merkava, and those Mujahideen who used to fight Israel in the first day of 7th of October, now they are waiting them in the streets, launching and using the local manufactured weapon called Al-Yasin or Yasin 105 missiles, like RPG, they put in their shoulders and target the Merkava and targeting the armored vehicles, targeting the Israeli soldiers. And Israel announced till now 36 of its soldiers who participated in the ground invasion killed, but the reality they are more and more, because the videos come from the ground, come from the battlefield. It tells us a lot of how those mujahideen are brave, how those mujahideen target effectively the Israeli tanks, and how the Israeli soldiers cannot move out from their tanks and just only destroy and launch missiles against the civilians. And Israel now, alhamdulillah ta'ala, is losing the battle because the victory is not by the number of killing of the civilians, the victory of how you steadfast, how you defend your land, how you defend your people. So finally, I'm concluding that this battle named Tufan Al-Aqsa flood, and should be for the whole Ummah. When the Al-Qassam brigades launched this battle, they launched on behalf of the Ummah to protect Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, which was subject of the Israeli invasion for more than 3 weeks. And the Ummah should take its part in this battle. We have a lot of things to do as Ummah. The first thing the Ummah must do, and we as Ra'iyya, we as people, should always urge our governments to do, to neutralize the Israeli killing warships, to neutralize Israeli flights, to declare Gaza no-fly zone. This is very, very important. More important than to collect donation and to send to Al-Arish. It is important. But the most important thing, to stop the genocide, to stop the war against the Gazan people. This is in the level of the government. Actually, Islamic perspective, the governments should fight Israel. But now, no government want to fight Israel. If you cannot fight Israel, at least you stop Israel. And Muslim countries should cut the relationship with Israel. Unfortunately, one of the Muslim countries till now send vegetables to Israel, send fruits to Israel, while the Palestinian people, 2.3 million of the Palestinian people inside Gaza, search for a drop of drinking water they cannot find. Just a drop of water. Food.
Yeah.
Now I call my team in Gaza. I have money to buy food. They said there is a very shortage, severe shortage in the food in Gaza. We just collect vegetables, we collect anything to cook for people. So the situation is very difficult. For people, we should act more effectively. We should be the voice of the victims. We should do all things we can do. Allah says, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. And we can do a lot. جزاكم الله خير.
Jazakallah khairan katsira kepada Dr. Sharif. Dan kesimpulan yang kita dapat sampaikan dari apa yang telah disebutkan oleh CEO AL-QUDS Foundation sebentar tadi, bahawa persoalan Palestin ini bukanlah persoalan yang baru, malahan beratus-ratus tahun yang lampau dan berlanjutan sehingga hari ini. Dan satu kenyataan yang telah disebutkan oleh Dr. Sharif sebentar tadi, bahawa situasi sekarang sebenarnya bagi rakyat Gaza khususnya dan juga para mujahidin, mereka sebenarnya bersedia untuk berhadapan dengan rejim Israel yang begitu ganas. Dan beliau sangat mengharapkan usaha-usaha yang telah pun sebenarnya dilakukan oleh Perdana Menteri kita Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, yang telah pun pergi ke negara-negara Teluk dan juga bertemu dengan pemimpin-pemimpin dunia yang lain, tidak lain dan tidak bukan ialah hasrat supaya kegiatan pembunuhan beramai-ramai ini, terutama kepada kanak-kanak yang disebutkan oleh Dr. Sharif sebentar tadi, setiap hari sejak 7 Oktober yang lalu 100 lebih kanak-kanak korban akibat daripada serangan yang begitu biadab rejim Israel terhadap masyarakat dan juga umat Islam di Gaza. Baik, jazakallah khairan katsiran ila fadilatul Dr. Sharif. Dan sekarang kita akan berpindah kepada panel kita yang kedua, iaitu Profesor MADYA, Dr. Sheikh ABDULLAH. Jadi dengan pengalaman doktor sebagai pengkaji dan juga penyelidik tentang tamadun Islam dan hubungan etnik, mungkin doktor pada pagi ini akan dapat memberi sedikit pandangan yang bernas kepada kita seluruh umat Islam di Malaysia khususnya. Dipersilakan doktor.
Jazakumullah khair Ustaz Fadil. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah Allah dapat temukan kita dalam hari Jumaat yang mulia ini, pertemuan yang disaksikan oleh Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala demi kerana saudara-saudara kita di Palestin, yang mana kita sebelum nak mula tu kita tengok angka ini memang menyedihkan. Kita tak boleh terima, tahu. Saya ambil daripada statistik MAPIM yang semalam, di mana kalau kita tengok daripada semalam 33 hari, yang terbunuh ialah 10,745 orang yang terbunuh dalam masa sebulan tu. Kita tak boleh terima ni. Satu keadaan yang menyayatkan hati kita ni. Subhanallah. Dan kalau kita tengok cedera parah ni, yang cedera parah ini, yang mungkin kalau cedera parah dia serious case, boleh menyebabkan kematian. 28,000, bukan 1-2 ni, 28 dunia sedang menyaksikan. So tak malukah kita ini bila tengok ni? Shame. Mudah-mudahan Allah Subhanahu Taala menurunkan rahmatnya kepada kita semua, membantu kita, memberi ketenangan. Karena saya melihat mereka saudara kita, dia keluarga kita, sebagai satu ummah. Tadi Dr. Sharif kata kita sebahagian daripada mereka. Jadi kalau kita satu yang kita tak boleh digest ini, yang hilang ni, yang hilang mungkin mati, mungkin tak tahu di mana mereka berada. Dan rumah ini, rumah merupakan satu daripada hak asasi yang sangat penting. Tempat kediaman. Tempat kediaman dimusnahkan, bukan 1 atau 10 rumah, 30 rumah macam tu. 185 ni. 185,000 rumah telah dimusnahkan dalam sebulan. Ini satu angka yang luar biasa berlaku pada abad zaman moden ini, di mana manusia telah maju, dia kemanusiaan telah mati. Kalau keadaan macam inilah berterusan. Bila ditanya pada seorang tokoh Radha Krishnan ini tentang tamadun barat ini, tamadun barat dia kata, yes, they teach us how to fly like a bird, swim like a fish, but never teach us how to walk like a man. Apakah manusiakah mereka ini yang buat perbuatan-perbuatan seperti ini? Dan kalau kita lihat yang menjadi pelarian ini, pelarian 1,4 juta ni. Kita tak boleh bayangkan. Subhanallah. Kalau kita tengok, kalau kita tengok ni, ini according to the Palestinian minister ni, apa yang dia beritahu, dia kata di sini 5,500 kanak-kanak ini telah mati setakat ini. Kita tak boleh bayang macam ni. Kanak-kanak inilah, macam mana orang boleh bunuh kanak-kanak? Kita tak boleh lah. Kita semua ada anak. Kita tak boleh bayang. 180 dalam satu hari ini kanak-kanak mati di hadapan mata kita. Yang ada hati selemah-lemah iman, kita akan benci mereka ini. Dan ini merupakan seorang
yang diberikan amanah di peringkat itu di PBB, Antonio Guterres ini. Apa dia kata di sini? Graveyard for the children. Di hadapan mata kita tahu. Ya Allah. Ini dia kata urgent ceasefire. Sekarang kita kena berhenti. Itu kita pun tak kena. Kita yang ada dalam akademia kita kena bersuara semua. Berhenti sekarang. Genocide, ethnic cleansing. Without fuel, newborn babies in incubator and patient of life support will die ini. Ini orang kira dia tak boleh buat apa ke? Orang itu dibunuh. Allah, yang mengandung sekarang, berapa orang saya tengok hari itu rancangan yang mengandung tu, tempat dalam hospital tu ramai yang ada. Dan mereka adalah kakak kita. Mereka adalah saudara kita. Kalau di rumah kita berlaku, kita akan biarkankah? Kita akan buat sesuatu untuk menyedarkan seluruh masyarakat. Ini adalah pembunuhan di siang hari. They're killing the humanity, actually. This name we can get. They're killing the humanity. Mereka yang buat ini. Dan kita rasa terpanggil jugalah. Yang minister, seorang minister yang bukan Islam, Menteri Hak Sosial Spanyol, apa dia kata ni? Dia kata menyebut Israel telah melakukan genocide. Terancang di Gaza. Ini genocide yang etnik, malah seorang menteri daripada Afrika Selatan dia kata apa? Ini adalah lebih teruk dari apartheid. It's worse than apartheid. This one of the saying of the minister from South Africa, it's worse than apartheid. Then what she says? She's a prominent figure, non-Muslim. What they say? This need to stop now, and we have to take action-oriented. That we cut the diplomatic ties. We have to take the action now. There's no more waiting and see. Wow. She said that if we allow this, next time you will come to your house, your country, you and wait and see. This kind of animal in the form of human will attack others. If we allow this, this is the duty of the whole humanity in the world. If they have the heart, or in Malay they say ada hati perut tak mereka ini. Dan kita tengok hak asasi untuk hidup kanak-kanak ini dicabuli di awal. Kata kuasa besar ni yang sepatutnya punya amanah sedang memerhatikan UK dengan US khususnya. Ini saya sendiri dan Al Jazeera telah melihat kenyataan-kenyataan mereka yang menyakitkan hati, di mana mereka bukan hanya nak suruh ceasefire, mereka supply senjata. They are supplying weapon to kill the kids. Proxy ini mereka ni. Dan mereka juga harus bertanggungjawab di hadapan Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala nanti. Subhanallah. Kalau kita tengok, kita ni orang yang ada agama. We are the people of religion. We are not anti-Semitic. The anti-Semitic is the Zionist Israel actually. They're killing the people of religion. Every day, you see in their teaching. One of the Mosaic commandment, prohibit murder. In the 10th commandment, one of the main one, I shall not murder. If they have the religion, they are the anti-Semitic actually. And they have, why they are doing psychic, when we study their psychic, they have been influenced by this ideology that they call us Goyim. Goyim means Gentile, non-Jew. The Zionists treat us, we are non-human. That is the reason they are trying to do this kind of inhuman. We cannot accept this kind of mentality. This is a sick person actually. They are the sick, they're mentally sick. That is the reason, no doubt they have religion, they are the anti-Semitic, real anti-Semitic. And then we see further. You see in the Quran, we are the people of religion. You kill a person as if you kill the whole humanity. You save one person, you are saving the humanity. This is very clear. Our religion, Islam, is very clear. And we are practicing, not only claiming rhetorically. We see the Sirah. We see the Sirah. Sayyidina Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu, when he want to send one of the expedition war, he reminded him, subhanallah, he reminded him, do not kill people unnecessarily. Do not harm animal. Do not harm the place of worship. And it been practiced. It is a witness in the history that Islam had complied to these rules, because is a sacred rule. The human right in Islam is sacred human right. We are fighting for the truth, for justice is sacred. It's not only for the humanity, but for the sake of Allah, who are ever watching. We are practicing, and we have all the right. We are not anti-Semitic. I'm repeating again. This been using as a propaganda. Subhanallah. Yeah. And then you see, this is an international, universal declaration of human rights. When we observe this declaration, we have the 30 articles in this declaration, and I have the almost I think 90% they are not following. If you go through, everybody can go through. This is for the world to see that they are not complying to the human rights declaration that we already agree. This in Quran, Allah says they are prone to they don't follow whatever that agreement has been done. These are the attitude, the Zionist Israel attitude. You see on the article of 3, very simple article. Setiap orang, every person adalah berhak kepada nyawa. He been protected his life and is free and safety of self. This is not happening. You can see the naked eyes every day. They are abusing. They are against this regulation that been agreed by the people of the world. This is a very clear, crystal clear proof the harm they're doing for the human being. And then you see the article 4. Tiada siapa pun boleh diperhamba. This is actually nobody cannot be inhuman. They cannot diperhamba. They cannot be conquered and become a slave. It's clear. Now apartheid is happening. They are not following exactly the declaration that said we are free. You cannot be slave in your own country. As Dr. SHARIF has said, it's more than 100 years. They are in the biggest prison in the world. People can see every day. This is a prison. They cannot move. And then the article 9. Tiada siapa pun boleh dikenakan tangkapan. Every day they are detained without proof. Every day is happening. And then 9,000 in the prison. Oh, this is thing, I don't know what's happening in the world. This is the sickness, malady of humanity. Hopefully Allah don't give this kind of sick disease to us. You see, in the Medinan constitution, when the Jew was living in the Medina, what happened? The first written constitution in the world, as has been said by Muhammad Hamidullah, what he says in that constitution, as stated in the Article 29 in the Medinan constitution, and the Jew of Bani Auf are regarded as one community with the believer. The Jew have their right, religion right, and the Muslim as well. And then been said in the Article 47, guaranteed the safety and the security of non-Muslim as follows. The document will not protect unjust man and violator of the pledge. This is crystal clear. We have practiced our constitution, Medinan constitution, go back to 1,400 back before we found in the American constitution or other constitution. And we have to practice. We are the role model. We have the model. Subhanallah. And you can see how they've been occupied. So the conclusion is that I'm going to say now, as Dr. SHARIF has said just now, they are in the prison, actually. And they've been slaved. This is a clear ethnic cleansing, genocide, apartheid, and we have all the proof. May Allah protect them. May Allah give them the strength. May Allah show the mercy. Inshallah, Ustad, this is my point of view. May Allah bless all of us. and we will together fight, as we say, that unity for humanity, inshallah.
Baik, terima kasih yang berbahagia Profesor MADYA Dr. Sheikh Abdullah yang jelas menerangkan kepada kita sebentar tadi betapa rejim Israel ini tanpa segan silu kepada dunia antarabangsa terus melanggar satu persatu deklarasi tentang hak asasi manusia yang telah dipersetujui oleh dunia antarabangsa. Malahan doktrin yang mereka pegang bahawa manusia selain daripada kelompok mereka itu laksana seperti binatang telah menyebabkan mereka begitu berleluasa menindas dan pembantaian terhadap bukan saja kepada golongan dewasa, malahan termasuk kanak-kanak dan juga wanita yang sudah berlaku sekian lama. Jadi di sini jelas membuktikan kepada kita juga bahawa Syaifah Maidinah yang telah dikenalkan oleh baginda Nabi SAW telah menunjukkan kepada dunia bahawa belum ada lagi dalam lipatan sejarah Islam di mana rakyat dan juga penduduk majoriti itu ditindas oleh Islam. Belum ada lagi sehingga sekarang belum ada pembuktian. Dan terima kasih di atas pencerahan dari aspek kemanusiaan dan juga deklarasi hak asasi antarabangsa yang telah disampaikan oleh Profesor MADYA Dr. Sheikh Abdullah. Dan seterusnya kita akan berpindah untuk mendengar pandangan yang akan disampaikan oleh Cikgu Azmi dan sebelum saya menjemput Cikgu Azmi untuk menyampaikan pandangan beliau terhadap perbincangan kita pada pagi ini, kepada generasi muda yang belum begitu mengenali Cikgu Azmi, ingin saya perkenalkan bahawa Cikgu adalah merupakan seorang aktivis masyarakat sejak zaman mahasiswa dan beliau sangat istiqamah dalam memperjuangkan isu-isu lokal, isu-isu nasional dan antarabangsa dalam pelbagai aspek kehidupan, bermula dari aspek budaya, sosial, pendidikan, ekonomi, politik, termasuklah hal-hal yang berkaitan dengan kepenggunaan. Tetapi pada pagi ini khusus kita jemput Cikgu selaku tokoh NGO di negara kita dan terlibat langsung dalam konflik Palestin Israel ini sejak puluhan tahun, dan mudah-mudahan pandangan-pandangan beliau yang begitu lama, yang begitu konsisten memperjuangkan nasib umat Islam Palestin ini akan dapat kita mengambil pedoman dan panduan. Cikgu silakan untuk perkongsian kita pada silakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wasallam. Terima kasih Ustaz Fadil, sahabat saya Dr. Sharif dan Profesor MADYA Dr. Sheikh Abdullah. Terima kasih kerana memberikan peluang untuk saya berkongsi. Saya ada buat satu slide ni yang saya telah bentang di Universiti di KL semalam di bawah Bank Negara, iaitu Institute of Global Islamic Finance. Saya bentang ini, saya agak bermanfaat untuk saya kongsikan hari ini. The slide says Palestine resistance, the Gaza blockade and the war, the genocide of the century. Baik, kita teruskan ini ya. Mula saya kira nak difahamkan, kalau boleh next slide. Maaf ya. Kita nak tengok sejarah. Let's start with the history, a very brief one. I do not want to prolong on that because it would take time. Now the history has it that in 1987 the World Zionist Organization was established. Itu yang pertama, penubuhan Zionist organization, and they have concluded that they want to have a homeland for the Jews. So they do their lobby, their campaign, all their deception and false claim but they got the support from the British. The 1917 is the Balfour Declaration. Itu adalah mana negara yang menyokong Jews, homeland for the Jews. 1917, but 1947, the British mandate divided the Palestine land between the Jews and the Arabs. So that is the British mandate. It was then in 1948 they created Israel. And when the creation of Israel was announced, it was announced on the 15th of May 1948, yang dipanggil the Nakbah itu. We know what happened. I mean, they killed, they just evicted 800,000 over, they smashed 500 villages. That was within May, the Nakba, the catastrophe. In 1967, there was this Israel-Arab war, and you have also another name, they called it Naksa, where they raided Baitul Aqsa, and also Baitul Maqdis, and also they raided the Masjid Al-Aqsa. There was an attempt, 1973, Syria and Egypt joined to reclaim Palestine. They wanted Egypt, Israel was in Sinai. They kicked out, but they couldn't get the land, reclaim the Palestinian land, and they were also in a way defeated. Now, setakat itu, you have to remember, this is how the whole process of the history went about. In 1987, the Palestinians just cannot take it anymore. They say we must have a strong resistant platform, and they call themselves the Harakah Muqawamah Islamiyah, or Hamas. So this resistance become the center of the world when Hamas is the strongest resistance against the occupation of Israel. Okay, next. Now, kalau you tengok what happened after that, you see that we should always describe Israel as an illegal nation. That is why, although 156 countries recognize what do you call this Israel, but about 26 countries until today do not recognize Israel. So, including Malaysia, Indonesia, and all. The first country that recognized into the UN or even recognized Israel is the United States under President Truman. Now, the Nakba, 15 May 1948, as I said, you have 150,000 Palestinians driven out and 500 villages destroyed, and about 15 to 20,000 Palestinians killed. So this is a record, nobody can deny this. Okay, from this kita akan pergi tengok what happened, after the Nakba until now. Kalau boleh technician you go on with the slide, sebab my flow of my input will be based on the slide. Siapa Muaz, who's controlling this? Siapa dia Ustaz Fadil? Okay. Now the fundamental issue is not conflict. I have to reword this. Conflict itu salah. This is not correct. What we are facing on Israel atrocities is occupation, colonization, and the West have got a policy that we describe as double standard and hypocrisy. So we have to put that in our mind. Kita kena tahu bahawa yang isunya adalah penaklukan, penjajahan, dan juga hypocrisy kuasa-kuasa barat. So we are going around this in actual fact. So conflict is not the right word, because conflict you have two forces at equal level, but this is not equal level. It's really occupation. Okay, once kita sudah faham tu, then we start to understand what is happening in Palestine now. At least 5 categories of major violation of international human rights law and humanitarian law is categorized. What Israel has done. 1 is unlawful killings. Number 2, forced displacement. Number 3, abusive detention. Number 4, the closure of the Gaza Strip and other unjustified restriction of movement, and then the development of settlements, along with the accompanying discriminatory policies that disadvantage Palestinians. So these are basically the 5 what we call abuses yang dalam kita punya bincangan ni ialah pencabulan, pencabulan hak manusia. They have done all this. So saya tidak mau describe and go very quickly on each of this. Sila, let's look at the unlawful killings. What has been done. The next slide. Ni kena cepat sikit ni. Ustaz Fadil, siapa yang kontrol ni?
Someone's control.
Please go to the next slide. Saya tak mau panjang sangat ni supaya kita agak structured cara kita berfikir ya. The unlawful killings ialah kita tahu. I mean, it's not only happening just in Gaza right now, but it's also happening in the West Bank. And the West Bank is even quite very bad because the forces, the occupation forces is there, you know. So there have been killings in there, just extrajudicial killing, tanpa bicara, tanpa tembak budak, remaja, tembak siapa saja, wanita. So that's what they are doing without any charge of anything. And then they are put into prison. Now, and then we have the illegal settlements. This is also a very big issue. That they have been going on and on with illegal. They're expanding. They are trying to take over lands one after another. They demolish houses. This is the what we call one of the atrocities. No? Kemudian we have this issue in that they build up what they call this separation wall. About 700 kilometers or more, and then this become also in a way a prison. You know, if Gaza you have a prison because they are locked down. Tapi yang ini bila dia buat separation wall, is also you put the East Jerusalem as a prison. So this is the wall yang you nampak ni. Ya. It is 8 meters height. And then, so the illegal settlement has been going on, expanding until today, from Bill Clinton to George Bush to George W. Bush to Osama, and then you have what you call another president until today. The illegal settlements is been, you know, expanding, although they say that is really a violation of the 4th Geneva Convention. Okay, next. After the then we have the another issue of forced displacement. Many villages have been destroyed. One of the recent one that has become the news of the world was this Sheikh Jarrah family. You know, they demolish the houses and they say they have to leave and they are taking over. They put in the court. The court says this is the decision. So they are doing this one after another. Expropriation of the lands of Palestinians. You know, demolish homes on the grounds, and then they created what they call law of occupation. Yang dia kata tak boleh nak you cannot demolish except the military. This is a military necessity. So this is the primitive kind of decision that they made on the Palestinians. Next, we have also go on next. Kita ada juga isu the main one now is the Gaza closure, which is unjustified movement restrictions in the West Bank. So this is the plight of the Palestinians. This the day-by-day experience of the closure in West Bank, and then in the Gaza you have already now almost 17 years of blockade. Yeah. So you can see the borders of the blockade, which have been strangling Gaza. Nobody can go out of this what called blockade. You have the iron wall, and then you have the sea blockade. Okay. Next. Next lagi. So and then you have another issue of the abusive detention. So. Like Dr. Sharif was saying, we have now still about 6,000-7,000 detainees in the prison of the, but you know, in the prison of Israel. But the abuse that happened in the detention centers, you know, they're not charged. They're just on and on. indefinitely, and then the way they are treated in the prison is worse than animals. You know, they are mistreating from children to whoever they detain. So some of them even more than 30 years, you know, been there without charge. So this is the abuse. Now look at how many international laws Israel violated. You can just look at this in the UN Charter, the article, all this, you know, sample resolutions, name it 54, 111, 233, 234, you just name it, endless. But nothing happens to them. Not one, any single Israeli commander or the prime minister have been charged. You know, so this is the reality of very sickening how Israel has been become. You know, they do all this with impunity. The human rights I have mentioned. This is called the Israel control these areas. You know, West Bank and Gaza through repression, institutionalized discrimination, and systematic abuse of the Palestinian population rights. So this is the Human Rights Watch, an independent NGO, but they monitor. This is the sentence that they used. Okay, go on, next one. So we have this very popular map that we always see, you know, the shrinking of Palestinian until it went out of the map. Dah tak ada. By 2020, you only have these small patches, and they are trying to erase. And I think what's happening in Gaza now is to completely erase Palestinian. Not one green area is there anymore. This is the ultimate aim. So you have this. You have the map. You see that the so-called Israel, you have four borders. North, you have the Lebanon, and then you have the Golan Heights with Syria, and then you have Jordan all the way down, and then Egypt. So four Muslim countries are surrounding Israel, and nothing can be done. So this is the sickening part of it, you know, with all the strength that we should mobilize. So again, Gaza is like this. This is the area. Brother Sharif was saying 4 by 2 or something. You go north to south, you only $4. And then you go east to west, only $2. It's 4 by 2, he said to me. So I'll try to, if I go in Gaza, I'll try to pay for ringgit. So it's a very small, the most congested, the most highly densely populated area in the world. And it is not only the biggest prison in the world, it's become the most densely populated area in the world. Meaning if you throw one rocket, you will definitely hit anybody. So this is again what you have, and I've you know, put one few of the notes here when this area was occupied and what remains in it. So this is the pictorial map that describes what Palestinian is about today. So then we have the Gaza blockade. The Gaza blockade is very famous. I mean, it's 2005. Hamas participated in the election. It was a free and fair. It was recognized by even the Western people on election, and Hamas won. But because of Hamas, the Israel didn't accept, and then they put the siege, and Gaza Strip became the world's largest open air prison. Ya, jadi ini yang dipanggil the biggest open air prison. Ya, 2.3 million dalam kawasan yang less than 130 square miles or 360 square kilometers. Okay, next. Again, this also, I'm very familiar with this. I'm almost like a second home. Gaza to me, I've gone to 7 times. I know many of the roads there, from Rafah to Khan Yunis to Abbas Kabira, and then Deir Bala and Gaza City, Jabalia, Bait Hanun. I'm very familiar. So when they bomb any place of that, I could just imagine, you know, those roads, those houses. You know? And this is what Sharif is saying, that this is Israel's iron wall. It's the most sophisticated, you know, very highly surveillance technology. And you know, even you cross, even if a rat will cross, they will, you know, they have what they call the AI defense. You know, no soldiers, but they can sensor, detect any movement, and the technology is see and shoot. So this is what they have. So sophisticated, and this is the situation of the Gaza fence. They call it Israel Iron Wall. Okay, terus again it describes you about the blockade, macam mana dia di sempadannya tu, ya. And you have the points that they can only points. Now you have Eras and the north, and then you have one more there, right, and somewhere in the north also, and then you have the south. So all these are closed now. Rafah is also closed. So the 5 gates that's supposed to allow people to go and buy things from outside Gaza, it is no more possible now. Okay, next. Again, these are the population, Israel area, how many 100,000s they have. Now, if you look at number 1, number 2, that is now the ground invasion. Now, ground invasion ialah North Gaza and Gaza City. Now, you have close to 1 million there. So, the south will get 1 more million. That 1 million in the north has become IDPs. The houses have been destroyed, and the situation is very, very bad now. The ground invasion. Okay. Terus, next slide. I'm repeating this, but if you look at Gaza and West Bank, it's actually quite near. The idea is Hamas wanted to, close the border of Gaza with West Bank, so that now we have a connection. This is the idea how when they did this attack is because they want to extend the connection between West Bank and the Gaza. That's if you look at the map there. Okay, next. These are then the assaults on Gaza that I have. There's one more missing. 2008, 2012, 2014, and the last one of 2021. And you see the casualties more, triple or more, quadruple number of Palestinian casualties as compared to Israelis. So the disproportionate, situation of victims is very glaring. And then for every assault, they bomb just like they are bombing now. Now it's even worse. They bomb everything from houses to all infrastructure. They bomb churches. They bomb masjid. They bomb schools. In every assault, this is the situation. Terus lagi. So again, repeated ini, but the population is like that. You have the unemployment and then the food insecure household. The numbers are there untuk nak bagi tahu that the situation is very bad. Next, let me go quickly. Okay, next one. Lagi, next. I just want to go into now. This is what SHARIF told us. The Hamas launched this Al-Aqsa flood, or the Taufan. He explained how they did it. It was amazing. But the idea is that the resistance says that this is the only answer. We cannot do anything else. Enough is enough. That is why. Nobody can deny when they are pushed to the wall to that extent for 75 years, the only way is to fight back. So this is what happened. So when they launch, next, Israel then announced on the 8th of October the war will start, and they say that Israel now strengthened the siege, and they say this is now complete. No electricity, no food, no water, no medicine, no nothing. So then the whole attack you see now. Let's go to the slide one after that about the faces of the babies, the children who have been slaughtered. So when the Hamas, sort of celebrated this moment of victory that showed that Israel has become invisible now. Israel has been, so-called, you cannot touch them. Now Hamas proved that they can be defeated, So from this, the war started in the most horrendous, most horrific situation that you see now. So Kita tengok slide tu sekali lalu je, tak payah saya cakap. Look at the Peter right. This how they, Gaza, Hamas went in all borders, the attack, and they wanted to cover 26 kilometers, and then the response from Israel is what you see now. The attack is residential buildings, masjid, church, hospital, medical facilities, UN shelters, refugee camps, schools, water facilities, universities, public facilities, government buildings, electricity plants, telecommunication facilities, hotels, ambulance, you name it. They attack square by square. Ya, itu yang dilakukan. Next. Here is the thing, you look at statistics, how many bombs a day, how many kills in a minute or in 10 minutes. It's on and on. They said relentless bombing, indiscriminate bombing. They say that all citizens of Gaza are terrorists. Then they say we have the right to bomb everybody. So this is the picture that you have. You can see it every day and then you have the bodies, you have the faces of the babies. This is nothing new to you. All of you can access this, and the world cannot deny this. Israel cannot say this, this. But these are terrorists. These are terrorists by the Israel. All these, the faces. According to Israel, these people, these babies, it is both born and unborn babies. And this images. I'm just afraid that we become so immune. Ya, kita dah jadi mangli dah tengok ni. Kita takut sampai pangkat itu. Then kita akan terpaksa menjawab kepada Allah. So yang ini the Gaza Hospital ni, Al-Arabi, Madani Hospital. I mean, it was built during the mandate, the British mandate, and they just don't care. People trying to get shelter, this is what they do. And Hali Hospital attack too. They have the audacity to say that this is rockets from Hamas or the Islamic Jihad. So now the statistic is this: you even have more than 90 UN staffs being killed, 36 journalists being killed. So let's describe that. 30 ambulances attacked. So what else can be said about this terrorist attack of Israel? We call them illegal nation. They are terrorist state. They did ethnic cleansing, mass killings, genocide, war crimes, crimes against humanity. You name whatever. Dalam jenayah ni, it's all fit into Israel. The only thing that the Secretary General of UPB can say is that it's deeply distressed. Situation in Gaza was extremely dire, and then said, all this should not be the target, and it is humanitarian access should be given, and then all this. And he just says that, but he can't do anything. He even says that he's horrified by the death of hundreds of people in strike on hospital in Gaza, and that there's nothing to be done. And then to the rest, Gaza is the biggest children graveyard in the world. Also, another thing that you want to say, but you can't do anything. That's the most sickening part of what UN is having now. So next, let me just go very fast yang terakhir. Next slide. So this is your problem actually. Kita tak boleh nak baca yang lain dah. This is the real culprit is this. The devil, the shaitan, you name it. You really have to understand why Israel is like this. It is because the support is such, and US is dragging other countries to support also. So UK comes in, France comes in, and now the global implication is tremendous. There are signs of where if countries start participating, you have Lebanon, you have Syria, you have Russia, you have Iran, and other. Then you are bound to go for at least a semi-regional war, if it is not a third world war. Ini global implication. Terus, next one. Look at the what you call, apa kita sebut, the hypocrisy. how they say human rights, how they say international law, but this is what they're doing. Macam Dr. Sheikh sebut tadi, I mean, they supply. It's not a weapon from the US, but the US is supplying. And how much they're flying is 14 billions and billions, you know. They just give for the Israel to kill. It's as clear as that, you know. It is beyond genocide. It's beyond. And look at the way the countries are behaving, you know. Just on ceasefire, they just wanted to vote on ceasefire, and you have France, Japan, United Kingdom, United States against. So they vetoed. Nobody can do anything. This is the highest authority in the world. You can't do anything. Yeah. Next. Last, ada lagi. Next. So now the world is reacting. You have thousands upon thousands people going to the street. London, Paris, Brussels, Italy, Washington, Amman, Brazil, Chile, Venezuela, South Africa. Next. Terus lagi. New York, Tokyo, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Sydney, Cairo, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Bangladesh, Moscow. So many capital cities, people are waking up. The problem is the government. The people are waking up, tapi government is not doing it. But there is already some signs now. Countries breaking relations with Israel, or at least they suspend, or they call back ambassadors. We have Bolivia, Colombia, Chile, Spain, Bahrain, Jordan. I think it's already 8 countries. I don't know who else. We hope more countries are doing the same. Pull back, you know, break your relation, at least. You know, I think Turkey has already done that. And a lot of these are giving all the condemnation and register their concern. Nigeria, Cuba, South Africa, Venezuela, Syria, all that. So what can we do? My final one. Okay. Number one, the last slide ni ialah express our strong protest to the US, because that is the culprit, US. You must express it. Number two, mobilize every local communities to organize events in support. We have schools, we have market, we have surau, we have homes, we have housing areas. Do whatever you can, mobilize communities. Number three, fundraise to send humanitarian aid to Palestine, which is also very needed. But then Brother Shari was saying that it's not only about humanitarian aid. We have to help the resistance. You know, we have to fundraise. We have to rehabilitate, reconstruct later on. So money is needed. Number four, counter any pro-Israel narrative in the social media. You know, sebelum tu. Okay. Number five, organize special events in solidarity with Palestine within organization, government, private agency, and write open letters to the US Embassy to condemn its support and pressure Israel to stop the government. There's so many other things you can do. You know, you can boycott, you can, you know, and then you have special events, pray and all that can be done. Okay. The last one is the prayer that has been always been asked us to always do it every salat, every waktu, so that the prayer will be answered by Allah. Okay, I'm going to end this, selesaikan ini Ustaz Fadil ya. Saya kira endingnya ialah kita tahu bahawa the real essence of this issue is about the US and the Western countries. They have been giving the diplomatic protection to Israel. And the other part is that we, the Muslims, we are simply divided. You know, we don't have that one voice. Ada orang tanya kepada saya, boleh tak kita hantar military force? You know, fatwa yang disebut oleh ulama Suria kata we should send, but it's not easy. I mean, you have to know, you know, you have to carry your weapons. How do you handle logistic? From what side do you come? So we cannot be just rhetoric about it. Let's be practical about it. If we can help the forces from within to fight back with all the capacities, then that is more practical. We do not want this debate is saying that we have to send, but the problem is that the practicality is not there. Jadi saya fikir itulah yang saya nak sampaikan, saya kongsikan untuk pemikiran saudara semua. Terima kasih banyak. Assalamualaikum
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih di atas penyampaian yang begitu menyeluruh dan komprehensif daripada Cikgu Azmi sebentar tadi ya. Dari slide-slide yang ditayangkan sangat jelas kejadian yang sebenar berlaku, dan alhamdulillah Cikgu juga telah memberi kesimpulan kepada kita sebenarnya what can we do untuk membantu memperjuangkan nasib umat Palestin khususnya di Gaza pada waktu ini. Baik, untuk meneruskan sedikit pembincangan kita lagi, kita sudah kesentuhan masa. Jadi saya akan menjemput yang berbahagia Dr. Profesor MADYA Dr. Syekh ABDULLAH untuk membuat kesimpulan sedikit tentang apa yang telah disampaikan oleh Dr. Sharif dan juga Dr. sendiri pada peringkat awal, dan juga apa yang telah disampaikan oleh Cikgu Azmi. Jadi silakan Doktor, apakah peranan kita ahli-ahli akademik, mahasiswa, golongan ilmuwan supaya merancangkan lagi kempen kita ini untuk seperti mana yang disebutkan oleh Cikgu Azmi, bagaimana rakyat juga boleh mendesak keadaan di negara masing-masing supaya situasi ini akan segera dapat ditangani. Silakan Doktor.
Okey. Jazakumullah khair Ustaz. Bagi saya sebagai golongan profesional ini, saya menyuruhlah kepada semua golongan profesional ini, khususnya peguam, doktor, pegiat penjagaan dan juga semua profesional yang ada ini. Pertama-tama sekali ialah kita yang ada ilmu ni ada tanggungjawab atas ilmu ni. Iaitu tanggungjawab pertama, kita harus mensebar luaskan maklumat tentang isu ni, tapi secara hujah-hujah yang benar. Karena di sana berlaku kekeliruan di kalangan masyarakat dalam negara maupun dalam negara. So we have the role to explain as a professional, explain to the public as well to our friends who have misunderstood regarding the issue. So we have to give evidence-based explanation. This is not a rocket science. This evidence can be collected very easily. So it is a duty bound to every accommodation to participate actively to spread the knowledge regarding this catastrophic, this genocide, this ethnic cleansing. So this is the role of the academician, main thing. The second thing is, we have to, for example, if I go to present international paper, I have to use that platform to insert this catastrophe, because you are talking about knowledge, but knowledge is not helping to assist the people that been victimized. So what is the knowledge, purpose of knowledge? Al-ilmu nafi'an, that we have to use for the benefit of humanity as prophet, as teachers. So if not, you didn't learn anything. So for in the context of student, this is student, we can mobilize the student, give them the knowledge and let them arrange workshop, forum, as well as also they have to do properly programs in order to make sure this issue been spread to all walk of life in our complete our community, locally or internationally. So students have their role, they have to play, they have to use their energy to do programs to create this awareness from now. And if you can, I can suggest now to the Education Ministry, make this one of the syllabus, because we are teaching Islamic civilization. So put this history is important history, because humanity been tarnished in the modern age. So need to be known by every student, so that they can have this kind of feeling that peace is priority, not killing people. So you have to put as one of the syllabus to create this awareness. And a part of that, last not least, this NGO. So NGO, as for example, there's Yayasan Nurul Islam and Yayasan QUDS. MAPIM. This is the classical example that NGO we organize such a forum ini macam ni untuk kita memberi kesedaran, memperbetulkan the misconception about this issue. So I think NGO have a role and to collect money, as Ustaz Fazil have said just now, that money important. We have a lot of NGO like the MAPIM and YADIM, so we can channel the collection to them, so that we have to financially support them to rebuild Gaza. Is a duty of must of everybody of us. We start with this Friday, this Good Friday, that Allah will change our destiny. That we have to support them wholeheartedly, insyaAllah. Okay. Terima kasih Ustaz.
Baik, terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada Profesor Madya, Dr. Syekh Abdullah dan para penonton sekalian. Alhamdulillah kita telah pun bersiaran lebih daripada 1 jam hampir 1 jam setengah dan kita harapkan dari program Sumpama ini akan bersama-sama dengan rakyat di seluruh dunia akan memberi sokongan yang penuh kepada perjuangan umat Islam di Palestin ini dan menyebut sabda Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam bahawa setiap kita adalah pemimpin. Kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyatihi. Kita semua ini adalah pemimpin dan kita bertanggungjawab di atas kepimpinan kita. Itu marilah sama-sama kita bersatu hati dan kita bertekad untuk terus bersama-sama dengan kerajaan pada hari ini yang begitu bersungguh-sungguh mempengaruhi dunia supaya isu Palestin ini akan dapat diselesaikan dengan penuh hikmah. Jadi sekali lagi saya ingin ucapkan terima kasih dan jazakallah khairan katsiran kepada Yayasan Nurul Islam dan juga kepada 3 panelis yang sempat bersama-sama dengan kita pada pagi ini, iaitu Dr. Sharif Abu Shammalah dari AL-QUDS Foundation, Profesor Madya, Dr. Syekh Abdullah bin HASSAN MYDIN, pensyarah pengajian tamadun Islam dan hubungan etnik dari University Sains Malaysia, dan tidak asing lagi ialah tokoh kita yang berbahagia dari MAPIM. Sekian, semoga perbincangan kita ini akan mendapat keberkatan, kemenangan dan pertolongan dari Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum.